Hi and welcome to another video. I'm actually going to let Dad take the lead on this one, so the voiceover is going to be by him and it's all about haymaking. So hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Enjoy the video.
Well, we're going to work the hay straight after breakfast. The raking man's coming about 11 to half past, followed by the baling contract, hoping to get all these fields cleared up today. So hopefully, I think it'll stay fine, but that's the main thing. We're all very weather dependent.
So what have you got to do with it? Put fuel in it?
Yeah.
Is that the good stuff?
I bet folks think this is a bit primitive.
What?
Most people have a tank with a hose on.
Oh, right. Ah.
Like the old ways.
The old ways are the best ways. I love the things that you spot in here, like that monkey thing up there. That used to be mine, didn't it? I don't know what for.
Laura came here and went, wow.
In the garage?
Granddad's dead. Wow.
Mm.
Well, this is me working the hay in the fields under the moor using the old Nuffield 465 and the hay bob. It's a Zaga hay bob, they're made in Spain. It's one of these machines that teads and rolls up. It actually rolls up better than it teads, but it does the job anyway, but it does make a very good job of rolling up. These fields on the banks are quite steep, and that's why I prefer to have a larger tractor, because when you lift these mounted machines up, it throws a small tractor around, and I always feel a little bit safer on the larger tractor. So we're just running through it with the hay bob prior to baling. Well, this is just a little field right at the far end of my boundary limits. and it was grazed quite late, and then the dry weather it was a very thin crop, but it just tidies it up nicely when you mow it, and the aftermath that comes is quite nice, but it was rather rather a thin crop compared to the field next door. We usually try and get the hay as haylage, that sort of hay that's virtually wrapped, and I like it that way. It keeps better and it's much nicer to handle, so we usually work it 3 times. And then it gets tedded on like a 4th time, but we usually work it 3 times with the hay bob before it gets rolled up for baling. Well, these fields under the moor are sort of my boundary furthest point, and it's a terrific view on a lovely day. You see right down the Derwent Valley, you can see Ryber Castle, which is on the back of Matlock for anybody that knows the area, and right on down to Crichton Stand. It really is a stunning view.
And I particularly thought everyone might enjoy this timeless scene, as though it could be from days gone by, before we bring in the big guns, which is the guy who is rowing up and then the baler.
We're all go. The rowing up man just arrived in good time, so we're having to get cracking to get in front of him. Well, this is my brother working the hay in one of the fields under the moor. We do actually have 2 tedders going together. When we have about 25 or 30 acres down, if you've just got one machine, it is quite a slow, laborious job. And I know one or two of my friends have bought these tedders that do sort of 5 or 6 rows together, but it's quite a big investment. So I get around that by running 2 tedders, and we get through it together quite quickly, me and Peter. There's a nice crop in this field, and there's about 25 big bales, and they are big bales. They're not lightly packed, so I was very pleased with that.
Is the adrenaline pumping?
Yeah, I love it. That's a better setup than Arthur's.
Yeah. Jamie, had a ride up.
You're a terrible fellow, you are. Well, this is Jamie Rupert's man rowing up with a big crone raker, and it does make a brilliant job. It leaves it so clean in between the rows. I guess that's the beauty of a machine that does one job and makes a good job of it. I know years ago my dad was going to buy a machine, and the guy selling it said, well, it does 2 jobs. It's supposed to do 2 jobs and doesn't do either of them very well. Whereas these specific machines do a very good job, and it does leave a lovely job, and there's hardly any grass between the rows at all when it's been through with the raker, so it really is worth having done. Well, as you can see, the big wide rows and very clean between the rows. They must be putting about 6 rows into one, which means the bale hasn't got so many trips to do up and down the fields, and they get a far more even feed into the baler, which is what these large round balers like. So it's a job well worth doing.
And as you can see, it's picked it up really well. There's not a scrap
Nothing on the
left,
floor
really.
at all. Well, this is Rupert Jowett, who does the contracting for me. He's got a McHale, what they call a fusion baler, which bales and wraps it all in one operation. And it's just a, well, state-of-the-art piece of equipment, and the cost is mind-boggling, but he does make a good job, and he comes more or less when I want him to come, so it is really the way forward. I don't know if you can pick out on the video, but you can see the bale gets dropped into the back, and now it's starting to get wrapped as he travels along. Really, it's also a relief when the chap's here and getting on with it, and the weather's, well, okay.
What will be happening this afternoon then? It'll be done?
It'll be done. Well, I'll have to start. If Nick wants to move the bike system,
Yeah.
I think it was a Friday he came, and we had 85 bales, and we didn't have any. Oh, we had one go through half through a wall, but 2 years ago, we'd one hit the wall, bounced down the field ages away because it just gets so much momentum. But I'd got one. The wire fence was just keeping it in the field, so that was lucky. I had to put some tape on the bale.
So he missed that piece with it.
He does very well, because these bank fields aren't ideal to do, because he also has to back to position the bale, so it doesn't just run away anyway. So that takes a bit of skill. Well, after the baler's gone, the first job I do, usually the next day, is I sort of heap the bales together, ready for taking down to our storeroom. So you're not running around all over the field. So I only take them down one at a time on the bale squeezer. And also when they're all ready to go, I put a cross on to keep the birds off. And it does work. This idea came from Ireland, I think, a few years ago, when a farmer discovered that his kids who'd been sort of, messing about with paint on the bales, these bales that were painted didn't get the birds pecking. And I found that works, so that's what we do. So I stack them all together in the field, put a cross on, and then the next day I put them in the clamp where we keep them. well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. That's a bit of harvesting action from Dale Farm, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.